All right, welcome everyone. I wanted to switch gears a bit today, and instead of being behind the camera and taking notes for you, I wanted to give a kind of pep talk as we start this process of applying to college. Right? You guys are out there, and if you're drawn to my channel, I think it's because you are working really hard right now, and you're probably stressing to a considerable degree about this college application process. And I want to just take a few minutes here and sort of bring that stress level down for you, okay? Because I think there's so much out there that makes you feel like your college applications and whether or not you get accepted to your dream school, there's all this pressure that makes you feel like your life basically depends on this, right? I've been browsing around even some other essay advice on social media, and you see a lot of advice out there where people are really just like raising the stakes, right? I'll help you write the best essay ever because the essay is the most important thing in your application. It's the most important thing for your future, for your life. And it just really raises the stakes in an unhealthy way, and I also think in an inaccurate and inappropriate way. So in the interest of trying to bring the temperature down, in the interest of trying to bring the stress level, the cortisol levels down, you'll notice I've invited my fish here to join us. They always help calm me down when I'm getting a little worked up about whatever it may be. So let me just talk a little bit about the essay and why I think you should not be particularly stressed about your college essay. It's still important. It still matters in the process, but I think there's just too much hype out there about how important the essay is. And so let's just start by talking about how these schools make their decisions. Before anything else, before your essay, before teachers' recommendations, they're looking at your transcript. Your transcript is far and away the most important part of your application, okay? There's no way a great college essay is going to get you into a school if your transcript doesn't support your admission to that school. Let me just say that right there. Nobody overshoots and gets into a reach school just because of their essay, okay? That's not how it works. The people who get into the elite schools are ones who were already thoroughly qualified. Those top-notch schools have way more qualified applicants than they can possibly accept. So the essay helps the admissions committee to distinguish between all those qualified students. But the essay is not what makes you qualified, okay? So that's the first thing right there. And this should put you at ease. You've already done your work on your transcript, right? You've been in school for 6 semesters of high school. You're working on your 7th semester grades right now. Make sure those 7th semester grades are the best grades of your high school career, okay? That is way more important than just spending hours and hours upon a college essay, okay? So once again, just to repeat, you get into a school based on transcripts. That is the single most important factor. After that, other things can come into play. Teacher recommendations, activities, all those kind of things. The college essay, the personal statement for the Common App or the UC Personal Insight questions, those are just one piece of the puzzle, and they're not even the most important piece of the puzzle. That should make you feel good. You are a qualified applicant to schools whether or not your essay is outstanding. Now, can your essay help you to distinguish yourself among the many qualified applicants at a certain school? Yeah, absolutely. I'm not saying an essay is pointless or meaningless. I'm just saying that we all too often raise the stakes on these things in very unhealthy ways, okay? I especially think it's unhealthy because we're encouraging you to be so personal in your essay. And if you think you have to write a personal essay in which you get really vulnerable and lay it all out on the line, and you think that's the most important thing to getting into college, well then if you don't get in, it feels like a really personal rejection, right? And it really hurts. I want to help you avoid that feeling of personal rejection, okay? As a piece of empirical evidence for the claim I'm making here, namely that while your application essay is important, you should not invest it with this all-powerful, all-determinative importance. It's not that significant. Let me give an example here. So over the last 10 years, I've been teaching at a high school, and I've been teaching seniors. Every year, I assign to seniors a personal statement assignment from the Common App, and I read each one, offer some feedback, and then help the students who want more help with revisions on this. Over those last 10, 12 years, I would say I've probably graded no fewer than 1,000 essays. I have never seen a student essay that was so good it got a kid into a school he wasn't already qualified for. The second thing, though, the sort of corollary of that piece of evidence is that I've seen plenty of students over the years get into schools that they were qualified for, even though their essay was just okay. Well, what does that piece of evidence tell you? Well, it tells me that the essay, even though some students' essays were mediocre, that the essay wasn't mediocre enough to disqualify those students from getting in. They still got into the school that they were qualified for, okay? So once again, I think one way to de-stress about this whole process is just to recognize it is not the end-all be-all of your application. It is not the end-all be-all of your life. As a matter of fact, once you have submitted these college application essays, you will probably never look at them again because they don't matter at all. They only matter for this process. If you find somebody in college, if in your first year of college, you find somebody in the dorm who wants to share, here's my college application essay. You guys won't believe it, all my new freshman friends. Look at how good my essay was that got me into school X. If you find somebody like that in your dorm, run away from them because they are a tool. It's like somebody who quotes their AP scores or their SAT score in college. Man, that's kids stuff. That's high school. Nobody in college gives a damn about any of that, and you shouldn't either. So, yes, we're going to get through this process together. We're going to work on excellent college essays together. They are going to help you to distinguish yourself among the many other applicants, but they are not going to be something that you stake your whole self-worth and self-importance on. They're just one small piece of the puzzle, okay? They're just a piece of the puzzle that a lot of people try to get you worked up about, and a lot of people try to get you scared about. And I want to be the one here to tell you there's no reason to be scared about this. There's every reason to be confident and to feel good about this process and to know that once you're done with it, you have done your best and you can move on with your life and go to college and do what really matters at college, which is research, study, make connections, learn from professors, go out into the world, be independent. All right. I am going to sign out here. For those who are interested, I wanted to detail the fish behind me. This is a 40-gallon tank. I've got about a dozen Corridoras in there. Love those beautiful catfish. I've got about a dozen Harlequin Rasbora tetras in there. I have 5 female fancy guppies. And then I have 1 ill-behaved sailfin Dalmatian Molly. And he is just he's a pill. I can't put him in a tank with any other molly because he messes with them. And so that's what we've got behind us. I hope that if you enjoyed this video, maybe you can put it on mute and just watch the fish without having to hear a human voice. It's rather peaceful. The fish certainly aren't worried about their college essays. They're not worried about much at all. This is Dr. Bella, signing out.